wiped the wires, put Vaseline on it, so he did. And off he goes, and he went down to the park and he met this girl and he said, I just got this new motorcycle, would you like to take a ride? She said, gee, I like that. And he wiped the wires and put the Vaseline on, and they had a good time. And she said, would you like to come over to my house? Yeah. She said, there's one strange thing about my family though. When they have dinner, they go in the parlor. They'll be beautiful to you while you're having dinner. When they go in the parlor, they don't talk. It's been a custom for 25, 30 years. Because the first one that talks has to do the dishes, and they hate to do the dishes. I can live with that. So he wiped the wires, put the Vaseline on, put it in the back pocket, and off he went to his house. So beautiful roast beef dinner, the whole 9 yards. And they went in the parlor, and everybody folded their arms, and they wouldn't talk. And he goes, holy Christ, she's right, they won't talk. I'll get them to talk. So he knocked his girlfriend over on the couch and did a number on her, and no one spoke. And he said, holy God, this is unbelievable. I'll get them to talk. So he went over next to her mother, knocked her over on the couch and did a number on her. Still no one spoke.
It's going to take a while.
It started to thunder and lightning out. He said, oh my God, my motorcycle. So he pulled his jar of Vaseline out and the old man said, stop, I'll do the dishes. Hey, get the side without the missing tooth, all right?
He turned like this. So embarrassed.
The queen had a party and she invited all her generals, all her old honored generals and colonels to it. And they're all sitting, the table was 2 miles long, linen table. In the middle of the table, the centerpiece of the whole thing was a 15-inch man, and the sergeant major. And he had a pith helmet on, a little tiny sword, and he was in charge of condiments. He was on a little pedestal on the table. And so there's all generals and colonels around, and one general said to the other one, General, how is your roast beef? Is it satisfactory? I suppose a little more salt and pepper couldn't hurt, could it? Sergeant Major, salt and pepper for the general! And he came marching down the table with the salt and pepper and put it on his roast beef and took off. So a colonel said to a colonel, Colonel, is your leg of lamb satisfactory? A tile of mint sauce couldn't hurt, could it? Sergeant Major, mint sauce for the colonel! Saluted smartly with a little pith helmet and a little sword. Down he comes, down the table. Puts the mint sauce on the leg of lamb. So two old generals, they had brandy and cigars, and two old generals were hanging out, and they said, General, how do you suppose the sergeant major got so small? He said, I don't know, sir, but it's heard from the horse's mouth. Sergeant Major, sir, address the generals. He came smartly marching down the table, did one of these. General, he said, tell the general about the time in Burma when he told the witch doctor to go fuck himself. And they had hundreds and hundreds of acres in London. They had 32 servants. And Lord Kensington died. And they used to dine at Jean Louis in London. And the help was so worried about me after Lord Kensington died. And so one of the chambermaids went out and said, Lady Kensington, we love you and Lord Kensington so much, my dear. And since Lord Kensington died, all you do, my dear, is go out and snip roses and drink tea, and you look so sad. Suppose we had Robert bring the rolls around and take you down to Jean Louis, where you and the Lord used to dine. And that might cheer you up. Oh, that's very considerate of you. Thank you so much. So they called ahead to Jean Louis. And they said, Lady Kensington is so sad, so Robert is bringing her down to the rolls tonight. Would you please show her the red carpet? Yes, ma'am. So she went down and she walked in to Jean Louis, and the maitre d' goes, Lady Kensington, how nice to see you now. So sorry about the Lord. Would you like your usual booth? Oh, that would be lovely. So she sat down. And he said, would you care to dine? Oh no, perhaps just a glass of wine would do. And so he said, would Madame care for port or sherry? She said, oh, decidedly sherry. Sherry reminds me of Lord Kensington, and sherry reminds me of my carrot red hair. I was quite pretty when I was young, you know. And sherry reminds me of London. Oh God, I love London. And it reminds me of bent wheat in the wind and rivers and all that beautiful, those beautiful things. And besides, pork makes me fart.